New York, and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles, Rosenberg, Fat Joe, Don Cartagena.
Ebro, this is different.
Program.
We never interviewed this Fat Joe. We're gonna get something we've never gotten before because Fat Joe is still asleep.
No, Delirious Records.
Yeah.
I just signed a major deal.
Delirious Vinyl.
No, not Fat Joe. The Fat
Delirious
Boys.
Records.
Delirious.
Delirious Records, bro. What's good?
Yo, what was you doing last night?
Well, we shot the video. You know what I'm saying? The Awanile, the Yes video. Cardi B, Eve Rivera, Anuel. You know what I mean? We had it was amazing. It was a long day, maybe 20 hours. You know?
Wow.
Wow. You guys shot it here in New York?
Yeah.
That's so tight.
I've shot a lot of videos. I can't even believe, I was telling Danny C, I can't even believe we shot such a beautiful video. So it was just crazy.
Now, wait, was this outside somewhere? Was this in a studio?
Not like Hollywood, so we wanted to change up the sets. So I knew, I ain't gonna lie, Cardi B wanted to shoot in the middle of the Bronx. And I was just like, we ain't gonna shoot this shit. Like, it's gonna be one of them videos that we get 1 or 2 takes and there you go. Because it's gonna be bananas. There's no way they trying to hear Fat Joe, Anuel, and Cardi B in the middle of the streets of the Bronx. They gonna come out 1,000 deep, the whole hood. That's how we shot New York back in the day. People just coming out the fire escapes, out the. Nah, we had to have this thing contained. This thing had to be right.
You know what video was really good? It's So Hard. Was that
It's so hard.
Was that a you operation? That video?
Of course.
Because you got everybody out for that.
Well, it wasn't just me. It was just everybody had so much love for Big Pun, and we reached out to everybody, and everybody just came, you know? So that was in tribute to Big Pun, yep.
So now you got this record, which has the classic Hector Lavoe sample. I was under the impression because of the Hustlers movie and the artwork that maybe this and Cardi B and the Bronx and New York. I thought in the face down, ass up. I
the
thought
cover's
this was
face down, ass up. Like, ass down.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But
it's the ignorance of the record. It's ignorant. Fat Joe, if you look at all his records, Lean Back went number 1, 40-something weeks or something. It was like, I don't give a fuck about your faults. Somebody said, we from the Bronx, New York. Shit, they was playing that on, like, pop radio.
Sure were.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's always an ignorance to Fat Joe. So the ignorance to it is that, first of all, the sample is just legendary, Hector Lavoe. And then, it comes back with the ass up, face down. Like, oh my God, this is ignorant. Like, so when you heard it the first time, you felt like, yo, this is ignorant. I love it.
So is this part of a larger album? Is there a Fat Joe album on the way?
No. Still me and Cool and Dre. Me and Dre of Cool and Dre. And this is, I call it like a chronic. This is a, let me tell you something. I've been seeing all these lists, all these lists. And I think we should make a list of the guy who been going to the bank the longest, because I've been doing this since 9-3, guys.
Yes.
And anthems, I guess anthems ain't on lists. So I had to give you a classic album. So I figure out maybe I'll scoot up a little bit on your list because, I just got to give you a classic album.
No, look, if there was a list and it was like artists that picks the best records of all time.
It ain't picks nothing. You've never in the history of rap music, I'm talking about the gods that flow the best in the world, have never been in the game as long as me and put out smash hits at this age or whatever's going on. Never. I challenge you.
No, this has never been done.
There's people putting out records and they rapping off beats and they goes nowhere records, whatever, and we celebrate them for the 20 years ago, which we love. The legacy of whatever, but
you still bring them.
Who's current? Like, what's going on?
That's
who still look like they was born 18 years ago? Like,
you are healthier now than when you began.
1,000,000,000%. I'm not even just saying healthy or whatever the case may be. Like I'm in tune right now. I'm in real life.
You could be. We've talked about this.
I'm in real life. I see some rappers that I love and admire, and they just like, I'll give you one for no reason. I'll give you one, not disrespect. They're living legends. But I see Houdini, and they still wear the hat old school, like they're in that time.
Yeah.
Some people.
You've evolved. You've kept up to the time.
And people better stop lying. They better stop lying to themselves, and they better admit what it is. But that's all right. I got a classic for that ass, though. Like I got a classic for your ass. That way, this is over with. This conversation is done.
But by
I
the
can
way-
go retire.
But that's
My
why
daughter's
this,
turning 14. I can go beat up her boyfriends. Like, leave me alone. Like, I'm gone. You could lie to yourself and call your favorite rapper. Ask yourself what favorite rapper has had a hit record in the last 10, 15 years. They haven't. They haven't, man. Let's stop lying about what's going on out here.
well, that's one of the things that makes the list thing sort of silly. Me and Cypher were talking about this yesterday. Is that the lists are fun. I'm a nerd. I enjoy doing it. But ultimately, there's so many different things to look at that make someone
Well,
great.
I don't enjoy looking at it because it's hard. Though.
No, I'm
Making
sure.
a list is like really hard, like really, really hard. And it's almost like the stock market. It like goes up and
Right.
down.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
One day you think Rakim, one day you think Slick Rick.
Yeah,
one
Well,
day-
I think that's also the
It's just
beauty of it,
crazy.
honestly. I think that's the beauty of hip hop and making the list is the fact that it's not stagnant, right? And
Yeah,
and
but
the
anybody
reason,
making the list putting Joe Button at number 3, I think they said.
yeah, but that was absurd. That was absurd.
I think they said the biggest graffiti list, the biggest promoter list. He made number 3 on every list.
And they but then but I think just for those fans, for like one of the things I enjoyed the most about the whole convo, and I still enjoy, is that people still give a fuck passionately.
Oh yeah, hip hop is.
That's
live.
a blessing.
It's alive and
like
kicking.
think
They
about
ain't
that
going
in
nowhere.
any music. There's not a music genre that ever took place on Earth where people are
It's
legit.
sad. I got a brother. He's in media. His name is Nori, and he got this quote where he said, "Give you roses while you're alive."
Mm-hmm.
It's sad because when I die, these phone lines are gonna be massive, and they're gonna recognize and realize, like, Jesus Christ, this boy. And when they play them things back to 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 back, and they say, "Well, he signed this guy, 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 anthem, 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 anthem." They're gonna be like, "Holy shit."
Well, let's do it.
Man
Let's
was
play
trying
some
to
tunes.
tell us in English.
Yo, let's play some music.
He was trying
man.
to tell us in real life. We ain't want to admit it. Here you have it.
Yo,
And
let's
I
play
got-
some
I got
music
the
right now.
classic
Let's
for
start
your
with all the way
asses.
up. Fat Joe's here, man.
I got the classic for your ass.
By the way, you've come with class recently.
Well,
you've had a
hang
great
on,
album.
everybody. I've said 3 times.
You
We're
wanna
about
play
to
the
play a
music?
fucking song
gotta go.
on the radio.
We do.
Stop just fucking yapping. It's Ebro in the morning. Fat Joe's here. We're going to play the new song.
Let's
Yes.
go.
We're going to play Lean Back, and we're going to pick some other classics that just have to be heard.
Please.
Just so we can remind the people who
Please.
this guy is.
Oh, yes.
Now, what's your favorite record of your own? First one that comes to your mind.
My favorite record, I got favorite 2 records. I got New York with Ja Rule and Jada, and then I got Twins Deep Cover with Big Pun. Those are my 2 favorites of all time I ever been on.
Now, what is the record you set out to get on the radio? Because that was a thing where it was like, I need to make a radio.
I mean, if we want to
smash.
keep it real, it ain't a popular thing to talk about right now, but with R. Kelly, we thugging. You know what I'm saying? That was my first hit, like a Fat Joe hit. Other than that, he loved me before that because he thought I was going to be with M.O.P. with Army Jackets for the rest of my life.
did.
Wow, you were disappointed
Yeah,
when you
it's
heard
real.
that?
He was like,
No, I
and
play
then-
We Thug. I like
Yo,
We
but
Thug.
let me ask you a question. What happens when your favorite underground rappers hit one out the park? What happens if the West Side Gunner hits one out the
know.
park? You don't like him no more.
No, by the way,
Like,
but you're a bad example because I actually stayed with you forever because you always, when Joe came out with We Thuggin'
Okay.
and What's Love, I mean, I'm playing these joints. This is when I was DJing in College Park, Maryland. I'm in the club every night playing your record. Every white girl wants you. Turn the fucking mic off. It's the biggest record in the world, right?
Wow.
But at the same time, every album, Joe notoriously had a handful of underground records. I mean, every album you did it.
Still now.
Yeah, that's
We
how
have-
you've always done
This
it.
new album, we got massive.
Do we
street
know
records.
the release or
I'm probably gonna go. I'm gonna tell it right now. I'm gonna go probably the first week in December.
major announcement?
Yeah.
Fat Joe album, first week of December 2019.
Fat Joe and Dre of Cool and Dre.
Fat Joe, yo, shout to Dre of Cool and Dre.
Dre, one of the nicest artists in the game, and he's been playing the background, writing hits for everybody.
He's super
And I
talented.
finally gassed him to come and do an album with me, and I'm honored. But he's gone. Like after this album is done, I'm telling you, it's a chronic. It's a Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. It's Fat Joe and Dre, and plus the features we got on this is just out of control. It's out of this.
What's the name of the album?
Family Ties?
Family Ties.
And can you give us some of the features?
But I'll give you 1 or 2. I got Mary J on the album,
Okay.
which
MJG.
Mary. I got Ty Dolla. There's a couple of rappers on it. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Don't worry, you're gonna see. You gonna see, boy.
Yo, look, Cardi B and Anuel at the video shoot.
Yes, sir.
You've been able to operate in multiple spaces as an artist, right? Whether it's being on records with Spanish-speaking artists, English,
Buju
South,
Banton,
you and Lil Wayne.
yeah.
We ain't even got to the Lil Wayne, Fat Joe.
Nah, we ain't going. That's
We
full
haven't even
platinum.
talked about how Fat Joe was
That's
one of the first artists to collaborate.
That's a household name. If you look at Make It Rain and you look at what's the Black Panther?
Yeah.
The guy shot the gun in there and said, "Make it rain." I invented that term. I don't know if people know that. So when you see the TD Bank commercial and they break dance and they go, "Make it rain," like I made that word.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I've
people
never even
understand
processed
that.
I never, no.
Start processing, B.
I'm trying
Start
right
processing.
now.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to tell
man,
you, boy.
that's crazy.
Start processing. I almost got her with the Nike hat. She's almost here yet. She's almost here. There was a disconnect when we started, but she's starting to like.
She's starting to see.
It's reality.
Yeah. Well, I think you know, we live in a crazy time, right, Joe? Where people have such easy access to information, but because there's so much information, we oftentimes have these conversations with people who don't put it together. Even ourselves, you forget the body of work. You forget all of the hits, which is why we run into
That's why
some
we
of them
got
today.
to keep giving you hits, just so that you can know. Because the truth is, this business is built on you as good as your last hit. You know what I'm saying? Unless you make a classic album, and we love you for that. You know, Slick Rick's Children's Story, Nas, Illmatic, Reasonable Doubt, Eminem's first album. You know, when that's why I'm trying to tell you, I realized it. I figured it out. Oh, they want a classic, like an undeniable classic.
What do you think's your best album so far?
Ooh, that's hard. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe I gave you a classic yet. I think this is the classic.
Well, for the record, I think that the second and third albums are phenomenal, right? I love Don Cartagena. I mean, you know, at first I saw the single with Diddy. I'm like, oh, okay, Joe's coming with the Diddy single. Let's see what
we
happens
need
here.
to hear. We
But
had
that-
to pay the bills.
But no,
man.
but actually, you know what? That song's
Everything he was doing was platinum.
No,
we
it's true.
had
That
to
song
pay
was
the
actually pretty hard
bills.
too. But I think those albums turned out great. But I think it's shocking.
That's my favorite video ever, Don Cartagena. But gag.
I just think it's honest. I think it's shockingly honest for you to say you don't know if you've made a classic because
Nah, I know I ain't making a classic
Every
yet.
artist says they've made a classic,
Oh, these
and the
people
fact is they
crazy.
haven't.
We got a chance to wrap up. Like these guys are delirious, right? But like
well,
these
Chance said he was
guys,
top three, and he was.
yeah,
We did-
some
that-
people are
People
delirious.
just say stuff, Joe. Some
Yeah.
people just say stuff.
yeah, some people say. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
I mean, I think
here?
that's something that's missing from Drake's cap. Still, he still doesn't have to me his classic album. I know the younger generation thinks he does, but I don't think he has his masterpiece
Take
body of
care,
work.
in my
I
opinion,
don't
Take Care
know,
was
man.
his
He
closest.
Take
he
Care
has
is very
that
good.
one album where he sampled that Mariah Carey. What was that? That was stupid.
No, he
that
had-
album. What's that album that Drake sampled that Mariah Carey live at the MTV and all that? Where he was going. Yo, that album was ridiculous, bro.
Drake is right there. He may have, and to people who are fans of Drake, he's got multiple classics.
Well, I don't. Who's not a fan of Drake?
Yeah, I know. That's
There's
Like, they're
haters.
lying to themselves.
Well,
lying to themselves.
People just say stuff. Like
Yeah,
I
they
said
just
earlier.
say stuff. They're
People
lying.
just say stuff. What do you think stands in the way of Fat Joe's in the past? Looking back, what do you think was the reason you didn't get to a classic album?
Well, I wasn't ready. I mean, I don't know. Me personally, I love rap. I'm a hip hop historian, connoisseur coming from the Bronx, and I was just always a work in progress. So I was never really like the complete package. Now I got what I need. You know what I'm saying? I know everything about music to where I'm like, all right, this is what we're gonna give them. But it was always a work in progress, and I always understood that. I always kept listening to artists. I kept trying to step up my skills. I kept trying to step up my flows. Even when I started with Pun taught me a lot. Then when I moved down to Miami, Lil Wayne, just by observing his work ethic and how he would switch up his flows and his dedication, and I learned a lot from Lil Wayne and just being around a lot of great artists. I learned a lot, you know what I'm saying, and absorb it. I always say I'm like the little Jewish guy, the little Jewish accountant in the back of the store that he got it. If you read his notes, you wouldn't understand nothing, but he got it all figured out in the back in the little notebook pad.
That's you as a rapper.
Yeah, that's me as a rapper. Like this right here, they can study this brain.
Now you first heard Cool and Dre did the beat. You first heard it and you were like, "Woo, we about to do this."
Well, I'll tell you the real story behind this. We had left Puff Daddy's wife's funeral. Kim, me, my family, Khaled's family. So we was on the private. And Khaled, out of nowhere, he looked at me. He was like, yo, you heard that joint Meek Mill got out? This is when it first came out.
Uptown Vibe.
And I was like, yo, that's just hard. And he was like, you know, if Fat Joe did that, it would be #1 in America. And I said, huh? He was like, if you flip the Latino sample like that, it'd be #1 in America. And I was like, oh, word. So then the next morning I went to work out, and the first record that came on my playlist was I was like, hold up.
It's a
Ran to
sign.
the studio and I said, yo, Dre, we flipping this. You don't understand. This is the Bob Marley. This is in my house. I don't have no plaques. All I have is a painting of Hector Lavoe. Shout out Mark Echo. He painted it for me. Mark Echo. This maybe 15 years old, 20 years old. He knew that was my favorite salsa singer. So it's crazy now that this record is out. I just stare at my painting and just feel like Hector's talking to me.
Well, and the record, the original, is a very spiritual song. Like, it's a very,
We put elements of that in the video without giving it away for you. So we represented for the...
made sure to respect the Yoruba.
Yes, you better... And you know, it was protested, like, within, you know. Yo, I don't know if you should do that. I'm like, yo, we can't shoot a video without acknowledging what this really is.
People had said to you, we don't know if you should be touching the agua.
It might be a disrespectful. It might be a disrespectful sample. I'm not lying. I love Hector so much. I get it. When somebody might be like, "Damn, that nigga touched the national anthem of the Santeria, man." Of the, you know what I'm saying? I get it. I would probably say the same thing if anybody else did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it real. So we had to pay tribute to that in the video.
But that's the thing that's so inherently what's part of what makes hip hop great, though, is taking something and then giving it a new meaning with what you do. Like that's
Well, it's what he's speaking to though is you know, African ancestral heritage.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that is that.
That's
that
the
music and
that's
that
the
song
African,
is the
well,
connection
all the music
of
is
Africa.
African.
Right.
All the music is African. Brazilian music.
All of it.
Dominican music. Spanish drums. All the music is African music. So, you know, you getting on the Afro beat now. I've been in Africa. They been doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It ain't new. All the music is African. You know what I'm saying? But you right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even in Puerto Rico, when you go to Caribbean, like let's speak about Latinos not being black. Latinos are black. Mm-hmm. In Cuba at one time, there was 8 million Cubans. 5 million, unfortunately, were slaves. 3 million were actual Cubans. And they integrated and had babies. Same thing with Puerto Rico when you go to Loíza. And when you talk about Santeria, that came from the motherland, Africa. You know, sometimes Latinos might even identify themselves with African and black culture more than black people. Mm-hmm. This ain't no crazy thing. Fat Joe ain't on crack. He know what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm telling you the truth.
Well, the heritage also, too, because, you know, mainland American slavery is different than Caribbean plantation slavery because culture was able to stay intact. When you got to mainland America, they was killing black folks for trying to celebrate their spirituality.
They was killing black
From
folks
all of
for
it.
And
everything.
stripped all of that. So when you get to the Caribbean and you see that connection back to Africa very strong in the people, it's very strong in the people.
When you
Very
go to Cuba
strong.
too, when they break down some of the
Cuba.
santos, they'll also tell you this is the real names of the santos, and this is the name we use when we were trying to hide it
Yo,
to protect
that's
it.
the illest story. Yo, so when David O and them cats come over from Africa and I start telling them about Europe, because they're Yoruba.
Different.
They're Yoruba from the original tribe in Africa. And I'm like, yo, you know when you go to Brazil and they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you don't know that Yoruban culture exists in the islands? They don't even know that it's still maintained.
But Brazil is
that fabric. Yo,
Brazil
Joe, trip on this.
is from Portuguese.
Yo.
So the Portuguese colonized Brazil.
Yeah.
So that's why you got Brazil is pretty
Speaking
much
Portuguese.
Africa.
Yeah.
And they speak Portuguese. And the same thing in Angola.
But I'm telling you,
Rwanda.
they don't even know that was maintained. That's not commonly shared. That between Yoruban people in Africa, that in the Caribbean and the colonies of America, that stayed intact. It blows their mind.
Yeah. It's ill, man. And they celebrated to the fullest, man. They celebrated out there like crazy. But yeah, I get it.
Fat Joe, new album, Family Ties. Great
Ties,
title.
right, Family
Tying it all
Ties.
together. Keeping the
Ties.
culture intact.
We
keeping the
it.
family
You
tied.
better believe it.
Yo, let's run that yes, man. And then you know what? After that, we're going to play some Hector Lavoe, too. Just
That's
play
right.
let the whole Aguanile My ring off. Let's do it.
Such a classic, man. Hector's the best. Hector got a song where he was talking about he sing underwater and sing fire. Like, I mean, this guy would stand on stage and I would listen to him. And the way they recorded back in the days was like live. And he would threaten all the other artists that was there. He was like, yo, the only man who breathes underwater, the only man who spits fire. He was telling them, like, don't
Bars.
touch the mic after this. Like, this is like, and they playing him. He was, man, that boy was the truth, man. That's one guy I wish I would have met Hector Lavoe, man. He's the truth. And then you get a glimpse of it in Cantante, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy.
Before we get up out of here, Loud 25, the 25th anniversary of Loud Records, who you did a deal with.
Man, they saved my life. Steve Rifkin saved my life, man. He bought my mother her house. He, he gave me an opportunity with Pun. Pun went in there and freestyled, and we got the deal. You know what I'm saying? Steve Rifkin, one of the best people I ever met in hip hop music, and Loud was just a special place, man. They had this little back room, and you go in there and you see the Jizza in there, you see RZA in there, you see Mobb Deep in there, you see my man's talking about hip hop,
Dead Prez.
hip hop. Everybody, they it was just a magical time, and now we celebrating the 25th anniversary,
And you and Rem are going to do a tribute to Pun?
that's right. And it's gonna be great, man. We're working with Sean C on getting it right.
And you got Rem her deal there with Rifkin as well.
Yes, sir. Steve Rifkin is he's my brother, man. I love him too much. You know what I'm saying? And the whole hip hop heritage with Loud Records is like
It's going to be a night, man. Everyone's going to be out that night. It's going to be,
We'll
it's
be there.
Wu-Tang, Dead Prez, 3-6 Mafia reunion.
Alcoholics exhibit.
Yo, Havoc will be there. They're going to have other artists doing Prodigy's parts.
Alcoholics, boy.
Show the licks, baby.
That whole
It's the licks.
Bay Area, that whole
L.A., man. Heavy L.A.
Woo,
The
she
licks, baby.
keeps on passing me by.
Well, that's the far side.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking
But you're
about.
moving out to L.A. We're,
No. I'm saying the Bay Area. I came out with the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Flojo. All my shows was with the Alcoholics.
And the Far
I
Side.
got 5 on it.
Loonies.
The
Yeah, that's the
Don't
Bay.
tell me about the Bay Area.
Well, no, the
Mac
licks is
Dre
from
niggas
LA.
at the finger waves. Don't play with me.
No. The licks is from the Bay. I mean, the licks is from L.A. Exhibit them is L.A. Far side L.A.
Name the whole crew. Shout out to
the
Roger.
Hieroglyph-
The hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
That's the Bay.
Come on, y'all talking to the wrong guy. I'm trying to tell you. You
Delirious
listen
Joe.
to me.
Yo, I know.
Delirious
Delirious
Joe.
Joe.
I'm telling you.
I know.
That's the squad. That's the class of 93.
Yeah.
I
you're
was
right.
doing all the shows. You know how we did the showcase my artist Angelica Villa
Yes, thank you
last
for
week.
that.
And
That
was
all
the
the
gathering
class
back
of
in the day.
now. When we was doing those events, when Fat
Yes.
Joe first started, it was me and 10 Bay Area artists.
Yeah.
Fat Lip, all of them was down with me.
No,
man.
I'm telling you, the Far side's from L.A.
Okay.
You're confusing the Bay and L.A.
High Road.
Can't
Bay.
keep running away.
Yes, the
Far
fire.
side.
Fire's
From
still
LA.
LA.
Can't keep running away.
Yo, Loud 25, get your tickets at Ticketmaster. Y'all give it up, Fat Joe.
Fat Joe.